So this is my code for my game. First off, we start off with the form variables. Now these are so that they can use in-between methods such as button tag and question. So for question, it essentially just takes whatever question we're on. Correct answer is what we're going to compare button tag to, and button tag is going to check what the user has pressed for a button, and then score is for recorded. So at the end of this quiz, the user can check what they have scored. Next, we have the start button. Essentially just hides the start button, and then it's gonna show the 4 choices because it's a multiple choice question. And then we call the questions method and we input question with it. So first method we have is a check answer method. What it's going to do is it's going to find out where the event was triggered from. So which button in this instance, which button. We're going to have 4 buttons, and every single time we press them, it's going to trigger this check answer method. So what we need to do is within the button itself, we need to go through the settings and look for tag, and we set this to whatever number we want so that we can compare it to. So in my instance, I've done 1, 2, 3, and 4. We see there that this button has a tag of 1. So if we go back here, we can see that normally it will return as a string, so we convert it. No int.parse doesn't work, so here we use convert dot to int32. Then we're comparing button tag correct answer, and if the user is correct, we increment the score by 1, and then we have our questions method, and this uses a switch case, which is very similar to an if statement but slightly more versatile. And here we're saying that if question is equal to number 3, for example, or number 1, what we're going to do is we're going to change the question label, we're going to change what buttons, and then we're also going to change the correct answer so we can compare what the user is correct to which button is actually correct. So in this instance, it'll be button 3, which is correct. And then we're going to press break, which exits the switch statement once this code has been executed. Now here we have a default case. So if the question doesn't match any of the conditions, it will run this code. So it's like an else statement. And so this is when the question hits 6, we can easily display like a end screen. And we won't need to change this in the future because it will always be like this. So whenever question is not something in the numbers we've listed, we're just going to finish and we're going to display our score and we're going to hide all the buttons. So when we add future questions, we can just add case 6 and then do the question after. We don't have to change anything about this default sequence. That's because default will always happen whenever the question falls out of the range. Now here, let's start with the quiz. So what's 2 plus 2? It's 4. How many planets are there? There are 8 planets. What is C#? It's a program language. And what country physically borders Northern Ireland? It's Ireland. Which of these car companies are American? Ford. Here we see that we have finished and our score is 5 out of 5. If we run that again, here we're going to deliberately get some questions wrong to show that the score mechanic works. Okay, and here we got 2 wrong, so we got 3 out of 5.